Thanks, Jinky. Okay, I think we can start. So yeah, hi guys, good to see you here. Happy that we are all here together. I hope that you'll have a good time with me. But we'll see. The subject is kind of tricky, so we'll see how we get there. And my name is, let's see if it works. Yeah, my name is Artur. And there's usually two of us. I'm one of the half of the CommonPoint. This is like what I do with my dear friend Bart. He's not here. He's from Bielsko-Biała, so he's far away. But yeah, he's kind of a figure, interesting figure. But yeah, anyway, he's not here, and this is me, and this is Pasztet. So yeah, it's like 5 years ago. I was doing a lot of stuff in my life, a lot of like 3D animations, images, interactive stuff, different experiences. You can see more or less the portfolio of what two of us have done across the years. And yeah, we have done a lot of different stuff, a lot of like sweat and tears, from graphic eye tears, I guess. And yeah, we've been doing personal projects. And then like 2 or 3 years ago, AI came, and it's like, Jesus, man, like how to handle this beast. So this presentation is more or less what's possible, like how we would function 2 years ago or 3 years ago or like 10 years ago if we had the tools of today back then. So yeah, today I want to talk about, yeah, what the hell 3D+AI, like a combination of it. But I want to speak about this particular project. This is an animation project that we've done together, and I kid you not, but we have done it like 2 or 3 weeks from start to finish, from concept to the final product. So you see all the bits and pieces behind it. And I will take this opportunity to talk about how consistent, how good, how bad, what's, yeah, like all the challenges and all the possibilities there. A lot of, yeah, hopefully you enjoy the visual candy that comes with it. But yeah, let's join this adventure together. And I'm gonna start with how usually projects start, with the inspiration. And me and Bart, we were stuck in an airport, and we were just like scrolling through Instagram. And bear in mind that this is not my feed. This is Bart's feed. So I'm not sure what the fuck he's doing with his algorithm. But yeah, like starting with the satisfying bits, but then like we've came across some weird stuff there. This guy, like, give him a follow. This is like a really cool dude. He juggles with hamburgers and put them on fire, like all that kind of stuff. So we were, yeah, and there's also the Nicolas Cage, and he throws it into the basket, whatever. So we were scrolling through Instagram, and at some point we came across this thing, and this was like a gold mine of inspirations. This is an account called yeah, no comments, sorry. This is an account called Masked Traditions, and you can see like various beasts, various rituals, and just like any sane person would look at it, and you know, we thought that this is genius, you know, like it's so cool. And like 3 years ago, it wasn't impossible to do it in 3D, you know, like all the hair simulation, all that kind of stuff. But now as AI came, we are like, okay, this is kind of fun. Let's try it out. And but this is just as a fun fact, this is like a Bulgarian dance. Those are cookery dancers. So I will refer to them. And I think like 2 months later, we tried to prompt them in Midjourney. And yeah, this was also like a wild ride. Across this presentation, I will show different tools. I won't get too technical, but if anything kind of interested you guys, like pros and cons, what's expensive, what's not expensive, whatever, you can ask me those questions. But I just want to paint the broader picture of everything. So yeah, we tried to come up with some concept, you know, like we were interested in those cookery dancers, and now we are like, okay, let's try to kit bash some images and see where it goes. And with Midjourney, things escalate quickly, you know? Like with Midjourney, you can get wild in just a minute. And kind of a weird thing about Midjourney is that you can really feel like a genius, but this is stupid, you know? Like you cannot use anything like this, even though I really wanted, but Bart told me that I'm an idiot. So yeah, we didn't go that way. And after some time, you're like, okay, this is kind of like a nice concept. We like the flowing hair. We like their dresses. We kind of like the vibe of it. So we were like, okay, this is a cool direction to explore. And at that point, in the very beginning, we weren't sure if you want to do like an animation or you want to do like a comic book or something. We just like keep the flow and we wanted to explore some cool stuff behind it. But whatever it is, we still need to make like a character, like a proper or something 3D. So then this was like half a year ago. So we were using ChatGPT for it. But if you're very kind, if you ask politely to ChatGPT or Nano Banana right now, you can ask him to take any image, even without the feet or anything, just place him in a frontal and side position, and it will just give you this image. You know, this works really nicely, especially with the newest Nano Banana. So you can have characters that have some problems. I will get into this in a moment. But this is such a nice feature and feels like, what the hell, you know, like how this is even working. How did we got here? And not even saying that you can position those characters, you know, like you can make custom cutouts. We just asked ChatGPT back then to hold an ordinate orthodox sensor, and boom, you know, like we have this character, which is pretty much insane because you can have those like little mini stories. You can come up with anything, and this will be vital to what I'm about to show a little bit later, just the ability to position the characters. But yeah, here comes the problems, and we did another project, and don't ask me why, but we also did the golden cacti monks. This is something that was always on our minds, so we wanted to like see where it goes. And when we are doing characters or anything like that, or pretty much dealing with Midjourney, you pretty much end up with something on the left side. It doesn't have this realism, you know, it's like painterly, it's a little bit like low res, something like this. And then we need to upscale them. I don't know if any of you like use upscalers or something like this. How many of you are like in 3D by the raise of hands? Is this new stuff? Like, okay, cool. Very cool. So you're up for a ride today. I hope so. So there are tools where you just push a button and then AI gives you the realism, you know, like AI is trained to make people look great. It is trained with a lot of like landscape, vegetation, all that kind of stuff. So anything that's painterly but resembles a character or something nature-like can produce great results. So we push a button, we get the realistic thing, but obviously it comes with a problem because it's prone to hallucinate. And here there's like a little issue because we wanted golden masks, but we have golden makeup. You know, it's not ideal, it's not a big problem, but it's still something you need to address. And those problems can get really crazy, you know? I'm not sure if you guys see this, but you know, like we have the realism, but we have Robert Downey Jr. here for free. And yeah, those are called hallucinations, and you see them all the time. Like, I'm not sure if the freaking fingers or hands are going to be solved anytime in the future, and there's like a spontaneous head, like it's nothing. So yeah, this is what you're dealing with. Like you're solving some issues, but you're creating another one. And if you want to take AI at a face value, you're just going to get disappointed. Like you need to go step by step. And this is like a recurring motif behind this presentation. So we need to take the matters in our own hands and we need to clean it up. You know, like there's nothing in Photoshop that Photoshop cannot clean. So either we remove the color, or like we prompt the hand, or we like kit bash them, matte painting, whatever. We can just fix things up, and then we'll have those little cutouts. And this is exactly what we did here. So with all those characters, like just as a quick summary, you know, like we started with Midjourney, then we took those painterly generations, and we like bit by bit increased the fidelity, the production value, the realism, and something that's ready to produce a 3D character. And this is where things get kind of wild, because you can take any of those images and ask, again, very politely, to generate 3D models. And then it does that, you know, like we are, for the better part, we are using Triple 3D. So you literally just slap one image and then comes a 3D model, and the geometry, like the quality of it, like you can tell me, you know, you can assess. This is the demo reel for those assets. I think they don't deserve for anything more, but yeah, I think it's beautiful. Honestly, I very much like it. So we are dealing we are dealing with this stuff, and you'll see what we ended up with eventually. But yeah, things kind of move forward, and they are not perfect yet, but you'll see how they look like by the end of it. So now this presentation is about 3D and AI. So there's a big component of 3D, because in this new reality, I think, and also what we try to push it out there, is that without 3D, you're kind of lost. Like you need the component of consistency, of control, you know, like that there needs to be some place when you ground in reality or in something that just is what it needs to be. And for this project, we did a couple of things in 3D. We are using 3ds Max and Corona for this one, and yeah, this is image almost straight from the renderer. So this is what we created. We created the chapel, we designed it, and we created this this forest, all the landscape. When it comes to the design, I'm also like a big advocate of just designing things by human thought, you know, like not going with full AI stuff, because then like the line is kind of thin. But where I drew the line is that, you know, you need to feel okay with what you're doing. Like there needs to be enough human process or enough human thought put into it. And even though this is not a big deal, but we created this this chapel, and the idea was that a lot of things are visually like straight and thin, so the chapel also needs to resemble some like shapes like that. There will be trees, there will be plants that are thin. So you'll see where I'm getting into this visual aesthetic a little bit later. This is a turntable. Everyone loves turntables. This is like a great use of energy to render those babies. But yeah, this is how it looks like. Just a couple of textures, couple of assets put together. And this is like one of the hero assets that we have done. So it has like a full production value, full realism, a lot of details. It looks just good, you know? And then kind of steps the AI part also, because we can supplement ourselves with AI. And here this is like a gimmick, but it's kind of cool. If you want to fill the shape with some general resemblance of the style, you can just ask, and then, you know, comes the shapes that are like in the style of eerie Slavic reliefs, you know, something like this. So we use Midjourney for this, and if you want to do like a quick and dirty, it's really good. Obviously, this is not the fidelity that we are going for, but since we have like a lot of fog, a lot of volumetrics, it will disappear. So yeah, but anyway, it's good to know that those things are available. And then the last bit was doing the forest. And this is just, you know, since we have those like cookery dancers that are like enough to make this, and this is images. Like I will show the renderings in just a minute. But yeah, how like our Polish forest looks like, everyone knows. So this is pretty much what we recreated, and this is how the scene looks like in 3ds Max. And you can see there's the chapel in the middle. You have like a lot of boxes, which are plants, shrubs, trees, like lilies, anything like that. It's kind of nice to place the objects near the chapel, near the hero by hand. So yeah, like a lot of trees are just positioned very carefully, and then we have the scatterings, like generic stuff in the back, and you have this transparent box, which is used for the fog. And this one, the deep blue one, is used to cut off the lighting coming from the back. You'll see that in just a moment. So this is how the image looks like from the renderer straight up. And yeah, this is like a two-box shot, two-box trick to make this lighting work. One is the volumetric fog. So as you guys know, in games, like volumetrics are just great to make the realism and make the cinematic look. But then comes the box from behind, which camera is kind of hidden inside, and it just makes the foreground dark. So it's kind of nice to have this like value progression. And yeah, two boxes, one volumetric, one that's cutting the light from the background. And this is how technically it looks like. And with a little bit of post-production, a little bit of spice on top of it. The image looks like this, and we have all those characters, like we have everything here. The trees are 3D, like some Evermotion stuff or whatever. I think I spent like 2 days working on this mod, but I was really, really happy about it. And now the really cool part about it is that we are like 4 days in, like 4 days from start to finish. And we are at this point that we have this creative sandbox. So, but what I mean by that is that we can move a camera, we can change the lighting, and boom, we have something like this, So it's kind of crazy. And when you think about it, we have curated this universe that's very, very unique. And it's like concept artists are drawing, but then they cannot change the camera. And here we are also cutting corners like crazy, but then we have like some sort of flexibility to it, like we can explore a little bit more. And at this point, me and Bart, we were kind of thinking like what to do, because there's lots of possible things that we can do. Like we can make a comic book. We can make like portraits, like game cards, like Uno cards. We are thinking about doing Uno with our creatures for like kids. I'm not sure this will work. But what we did is an animation. So yeah, here it goes. Okay, so that's that. That happened. And this animation is like, what the fuck, I guess, because how this is even possible. And it's not like crazy complicated, because there's like not a crazy movement, but still, like, given what the possibilities are for two people that created this literally in a matter of days, it's insane for me. So let me break down how the animation bit works here, because it's also interesting, and there's also the ups and downs, the flip sides and downsides of it. So first of all, the idea for it, like, we've always wanted to create something that's like parallel universe, like there's the reality and there's reality beneath it, like there's always something that kind of hides in plain sight, and you might feel the danger, you might not, but it's there, like there's always this reality, like Stranger Things kind of a vibe. and we knew that there's like a resolution between them, and we weren't sure like how this is going to end up, and still it's kind of ambiguous. Like you don't know if this girl is like behind all of it. Is it the victim? So yeah, it's kind of symbolic in a way. It's like working off of a mood. But yeah, we kind of that was the biggest idea, the big idea behind it. When it comes to the animation part, again, same as the previous stuff. Like you put image, you type a prompt, you do something, and it does things automatically. You know, like you can see, this is we just uploaded one image, one still frame, and then it produces a video, like a 4 to 8 seconds video. And are those videos great? Yeah, I'm gonna show you a little bit later, but yeah, let me break it down to the storyboard of it, because yeah, hi guys, the like this thing, you know, usually if you think about it, if you have 30 shots, it's crazy to do them in production. You know, like you need to have so many VFX guys, model everything, animate everything, do the compositing and whatnot. It's just insane how much work it comes to it. And when I showed the storyboard to Bart, he wasn't quite happy, you know, especially that some of the shots look like this, straight from the rendering. This is the Stephen Hawking shot that we have done. Yeah, so it's not ideal, you know, and if you have lots of those, yeah, then it's kind of tricky. But since my good friend Bart is not assertive, he said that, yeah, okay, I will do it, you know. So he went to work, like both of us went to work, and I want to show like how the transformation looks like from, again, we had those shitty models, we had like some of the quality there, some of them not. So how does it look like from point A to point B? And before you can see, like the chapo that we have done has the details with the plants, with the candles, with the candlesticks and whatnot. You cannot quite see this here, but the pillars are like okay-ish. But you have the plastic doll in the center, which is not ideal. Like we cannot leave the main hero of this shot as it is right now. So again, this is a really cool thing to think right now in 3D graphics, to use like how to perceive details, you know, because we are used to implementing details in 3D. You know, if it's not in 3D, if it doesn't contain in a texture, then we cannot get the details. But when we are doing images, like 3D space doesn't need to contain details. We can tell AI like, hey, take this image here, and put it and combine it with our initial image, and then it just does that. That's kind of crazy. It like transplants the details. And the hidden logic here is that we use this second image to create our asset. So we had like a great confidence that those assets like are same position, that are same colors. So then AI can figure it out. And then we have this first pass that we can then in Photoshop use it, and then you can just put it on top. So you'll see how this post-production looks like, and we will do this post-production for all the images. So you can see we did the retexture, we get the fidelity, and already the image looks great. And we are solving some smaller problems, like we are doing some typical matte painting, so putting the hair, removing some artifacts from the renderer because we are lazy. And then there's this pass of like, you could see the contrast, the punch that came in the image. And before we had this like upscale to create realistic people, and now we just make the realistic greenery and vegetation and wood-like elements. So yeah, that was automatic, and then some color correction, and that's how all of the images are done. And this is all we need to make an animation shot, and I won't go through them all, but I think this one is kind of interesting. And this is one of the very important shots because there's this key moment when we have the transition. And interestingly enough, it started with something like this. So we needed to have the chapo in the same place as the creature. So if there's some concept artists here, this approach is kind of crazy how you can design stuff. Because, for example, we started with combining the chapo with the spider. And you know, we had like the spider-like chapo, but it wasn't like too much um, like scary or whatever. We wanted something like unsettling, so we did it one more time, and we did it again and again, and this was like really good when it comes to like scariness. But we had so many different monsters, and we used them to create like a monster, like a Kid Bash asset, but in just Photoshop. So you see this, the Photoshop of it here. Like we started with the chapo, and yeah, we are just kind of jamming, you know, at this moment. Like you can jam when you take a guitar or whatever, but in 3D or in 2D, you cannot quite jam. So this is a way, you know, the closest to have like, okay, let me see where the ideas go, and yeah, you just go forward, you know. Like we love that we have this monster in a monster. This was like sick enough. So that's how we how we went. And yeah, still it's not quite there, but we are like, okay, maybe this will work. So little by little we are trying to figure things out. And when we drew those spider-like legs there in the bag, like in the back, fading into the mist, that's where it hit us that yeah, this can work, and it's still chapel-like, but it has like its identity of itself. So yeah, this is something very experimental, but very, very cool. And it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the techniques and everything that is available for graphic designers right now. And yeah, a little bit of a time lapse for different shots. So you can see there's big moves like doing volumetrics, the retextures for the figures. Not all of them are terrible, like 100% terrible, but we can get there fairly soon. So yeah, with all of the images, we were able to figure it out. And then comes the bit where we put it in motion. So as I said before, we have a single frame, and we just used AI to make a video out of this frame. And those are the successful shots. I will show you the successful in a minute. But what I wanted to say, since probably you're not aware of it, AI video, like image to video tools are really, really good. Those are some of the architectural projects that we've done in the past, and the animations are done automatically. You know, like there's no traditional rendering. But yeah, obviously when you see the hand, it's not good. It's not great. So there's like a fine line what it's capable of and where it kind of just struggles, and you cannot get past it. But yeah, again, just as we were doing before, like if it's enough, it's enough. It doesn't need to be better, or it doesn't need to be longer than we need. So we just need like 3-4 second shot when that we put in the edit, and that's where we call success. So yeah, just pretty much by the end of this presentation, this is the unsuccessful ones, and there's a lot of those because those little yeah, those guys didn't listen to us. They were like, I tried to art direct them, but they felt confused. You know, like this guy, he was standing there like a douchebag. He was like, okay, let's go here, like go slowly to the front. Like, nope, I'm gonna go there, you know. And yeah, problems with Chapo setting on fire. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say like the monster was crazy, because we were running this on a Chinese server, and they kind of blocked us for some time. But yeah, we managed somehow to get it work, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. For some shots, we needed to like roll the dice about 10 or 15 generations, which costs a little bit. So yeah, by the end of the day, it's possible, but it's not so great. And one of the shots were done in 3D. So this is our animation rendered in 3D, and you'll see how it looks like in full glory. This is some cinema magic here. So this is how the full 3D scene looks like. This is, yeah, very, very beautiful. It's just like a reflection. And this bad boy, it's kind of interesting because we just animated him on a green screen. So we just removed the background from him and animated this shot as it was just on a green screen, and then use this as a reflection in the shot. So yeah, just bring this presentation home. It's like, so what? Like what's the point of this nonsense? And I think that this project is obviously very, very artistic, and rightfully so. I wanted to like kind of inspire that there's really, really cool stuff that you can do with it, and you can have a fairly good deal of control. We use AI a lot in our commercial work. Like there's so many things that we do, and we can cut corners and we can be smart about it. Like it's a really being like a street smart guy in graphics. It's really, really cool to use it. And yeah, like just maybe one or two big ideas that I want to leave you guys with is that whatever your side on, whichever side of the equation you are, either pro or against, whatever, just test it out. Like you quickly see the nature of this beast. This beast isn't ideal. This is coming with some challenges for sure, but it's also coming with some opportunities. So yeah, just have an open mind and test things out. And I think Bart, my dear friend who's not here, I think he would really like to say that the most important thing is that we kind of wouldn't be ourselves if we didn't do something stupid. So sorry. Here. Thanks, guys. Any questions?
Have you tried running any models locally? Iterate stuff? Of course, definitely have the graphic card.
Yeah. Local thing is not like capable of the quality that I mean, you can wait for generations, and even for still images, it takes a while. Even if you put like a smaller crop of the image, it takes a while. So animations are possible. It's definitely like more consuming technically to figure it out. But as a creative person, I'm like, okay, I want to see something, I want to do it fast, and my boss pays for everything. I don't care that much. But yeah, some people do it, but yeah, it's definitely more tricky, and I'm not sure if you're at least in the next 1 or 2 months gonna get the same quality, fidelity, and whatever. So like yes and no kind of a question answer. Yep. Yeah, don't be shy, guys.
Have you tried making shots longer than a couple of seconds?
Yeah, so the length is the main issue. The length and the resolution, those are the biggest problem. You can have full HD, 4K sometimes with some models, but it's not great. And there's different kind of image to video or text to video, because if you want to generate based off of prompt with Sora or Veo, then you can get like full clips, full whatever. What we did here was a particular image. So then those generations, especially Kling that we used, it's 8 seconds or 16 seconds, but the longer you go, the like trickier it gets. So it's not like treating the generations at a face value, but you already know how much you need, and you're making an edit in such a way that it doesn't need more than 10 seconds. So you like edit base or instead of generation base, and then you can like kind of omit. But if you're just looking for, okay, in a vacuum, the shots are not that long, and that's just the limitations of it.
Were there any people that didn't like that you use AI? Because I've tried using AI for my game, and I'm not sure if people are gonna like it.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna face backlash, for sure. It's like a thin line, and I'm also kind of on like I'm not decided how I want to put myself out there when it comes to this technology, you know, because I know I can use it like, let's say, responsibly, even though there's like a flavor of it that you can make a case that I shouldn't be using it, you know, like the rights of it, whatever, you know. But by the end of the day, I think that you do you, you know, like whatever feels. I think that you know, if you listen to the crowd, you're always either like diluting your ideas or whatever, or just not feeling great. So yeah, I would say that you know, definitely consider, but by the end of the day, you do you. So that's like at least what we are trying to do, you know.
Do you know if there are any like video-to-video models that, for example, you said that there are like when persons you wanted them to go towards the camera and they just kept doing random stuff.
Yep.
If, for example, you can just make your own video with just mannequins moving towards you, and then you put it into AI and tell it to make like monks out of this.
Yeah. There's lots of those. You can like make an animatic with a car, so it replaces the car and the landscape, and it kind of gets what the blocky scene looks like, given that you work with prompts. So you can make it work. It can. There's tons of those that can repaint who you are. Like you can make a recording of yourself with the voice, with the lip sync and all that kind of stuff, and produce like a one frame that's in a different stylistic, and it will like more or less feel consistent, like more or less. You'll have some problems, you might fix it in compositing, in Nuke or After Effects, whatever. Those things exist, but I would also argue that you can kind of lower the standards if you want to go that route. But again, like might be backlash, whatever, you know. So yeah, this is like a super fine line. This is sorry, like a little bit of a digression, but I feel like AI is nothing that we can compare it to. Like it's not 3D and it's not abstract. It's like somewhere in between, you know. So whatever it is, it won't be the thing that we are used to. So yeah, you need to figure out how to make it work so it kind of looks like something else, you know. Yep. Any questions?
About the models, I saw that there were like the poly count of them. They were
Yeah.
like pretty high. And I got a question: is there a 3D AI tool to optimize them? And have you used it?
Yeah, those poly counts are just because we just crank up the poly count to the top. Yeah.
And the question is there a tool that can do it like I don't know, good enough without losing the quality?
I think so. You know, like especially for so let me put it this way: if you're doing games and you have like a stylistic filter on top of it, then you have so many different options. You know, because sometimes you know that the filter or whatever style will just like dilute or make this asset look the way you want to look, you know. So if you're doing anything stylistic, this is like a no-brainer. Poly count is low, you can adapt it. Even textures, there are tools, especially in Tripo, where you can select an area and you can prompt it to increase the texture in that area, you know. So you just like select a face and then you're like, okay, let's make this in a particular race or particular whatever, you know, or let's change the cloth or pens or whatever. So then you can like adapt, you can increase, and you can adjust the poly count. And when it comes to super realistic, high fidelity stuff, I think it's also kind of cool that you can put it in ZBrush or something like this, because there's a point where you want to have more control. You just need to like turn into 3D, and there's like no way around it. But the level you can push it towards is very, very high when it comes to asset, you know.
Okay, so it can be optimized. It's not like
Oh, for sure. I know designers who are doing way worse topology than AI, you know. So for sure, you know. Yeah. Yeah, all good, guys? Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot.